Hey guys, today we're gonna take a look at an axe game. This guy is what? Uh, Legend 7? Yeah. So he's asking for help. Disclaimer, not really an offlane player. Uh, I was for a little bit, I guess, but it's coincidentally I was around this level too. I think when I played offlane more, maybe a little higher. But I probably don't have the best specific tips for offlaners. But I think I still probably do have a good sense for like general gameplay and itemization, that kind of thing. Um, so we'll just see how what happens this game. Give it a go. Looks like this guy plays a lot of axe. Um, I have no idea how to say your name. X Furious. What was it? VX Furious. I don't know if you say it all. V Furious. I don't know. But I saw your post saying you were in a slump a bit. I've done that a lot too. I think everyone has their slumps, right? And briefly glancing at your matches, I saw you play a lot of heroes. Uh, in those kind of games, when you're in a slump, actually, I did see you started playing Axe a couple games in a row, and he was one of your more played heroes, and so that's a good way to get out of slumps is to kind of go to your comfort zone. So this is the right idea. We're gonna see what you do. Taking a look at your team real quick. Let's lay out a game plan for you. See how that goes. Looks like you got Skyrath mid. I'm going to try not to talk about it too much this game. I despise Mirana 4 though. I really dislike seeing this hero as a 4 position because I think, do I want to rant about it? I kind of do. I'm going to rant about it because I think it'll probably matter in this game. Without even seeing the game, I'm going to guess. Mirana 4s tend to soak up a ton of farm without really being able to do anything consistently. By that I mean like some Maranas will have a great game, sometimes they'll have like a terrible game, because Arrow is a really long range stun, and it's not guaranteed to hit anything. With Axe Call, that helps, but if she can't hit the arrow, she can't do much because the rest of her spells are meant to be like a carry. Um, and so what tends to happen is Maranas soak up a ton of farm, and they aren't really a support. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I generally just dislike seeing it. So if I had to guess, I feel like she's going to end up taking a lot of farm. And if you ever feel at any point in this game, oh, why don't my cores or I have more farm? It's probably because Marana has it. Now, having said that, I don't mean to flame this player, right? I haven't even seen the game. Who knows? But she's already set up to build a Wraith Band, which is like not a support item. So, ugh. Um, but you gotta avoid carry, combos well with Skyrath, Lion. Overall, your draft is like pretty solid. Of all the teams you could have in Mirana support, you've got a lot of people to set up a good arrow, so that doesn't hurt. Their team pretty scary, except for the fact that I'm assuming this is the offlaner. It's one of these guys, I guess. That's something you have to scout out. Um, Warlock really nice with these guys. Good AoE damage to mix it up while he does like the single target. Um, but you're a really good hero against Monkey King. Well, it kind of goes both ways. Both of those heroes can kill you, but you're pretty good. Like if you get good items for it, you can call them and return a lot of damage with like blade mail, that kind of thing. Um, so honestly, it feels like a decent game. I think they're gonna want to team fight more than you guys are. I think you guys want to like find picks around your call and around like Chrono, and finger whatever. Get those picks and then kind of fight from there. I think Warlock is like the ultimate team fighter. He's what makes their team fight better than your team fight. Uh, unless you guys, so if you can kill him first in a team fight, that would be good, and then maybe the rest of the fight's good. Um, but yeah, I think they want to go for the more like 5-man team fight, and you want to look for the more like 3-4-man like pick offs repeatedly kind of fight. Items decent, but you have to make use of them, right? Double stout means it takes it from a 50% chance to a 75% chance. If you plan on pulling the lane a lot, taking a lot of aggro from creeps, then that's fine. Oh, what if the Moran is carrying? You're a 4th position, actually. Hmm. Honestly, Axe still plays kind of similar in that situation, but I'll see. I'll see what happens. Doom along. I don't. Well, standing here is like okay to spot for the ward, I guess. I would kind of prefer you go scout out who's in your safe lane because you didn't know like Monkey or Ursa. I think it's important to like kind of go spot that, and you're more likely to do that like up here. So it's gonna be Monkey King. I hope you're the off laner because you started with counter Helix. Even if you aren't, I kind of think W is the better spell to start with. Mainly because like you can do these fights like this whole time they have no way to remove your W, so you can like put it on the support and just like run at them. Are you gonna get this kill now? Warlock shouldn't be hitting you. See, he procs Helix. If you're a support and you see an Axe call someone, don't hit the Axe because you don't want him to proc the spins. Okay, that's a good start for you. Something that shouldn't happen but did. They're hopeful arrows. You should really tango. You're at half health. You know, you should just start regenning. This is why I don't really like Helix level 1. Like, look how many... You are getting a lot of spins, actually. So you're getting these creeps, but, like, you're so low. I think this guy should just kill you, right? Why's he even denying? It's like, shadow word you? Kill you? And you're still trying to pull creeps. Damn, this is bold. Especially because I think Monkey King should have done this sooner. Yeah, just walk back. Life-saving arrow. That's not true. I think you were already away. Oh, you go back in. That's so scary. Does this guy... Oh, no, because he started E. Right. That's dumb. Not to flame, you know, but why would you ever start with that? I think that's really bad. Shadow word's the way to go. Right now, this lane's going well for you. I'm honestly still unclear who's the support in this lane. I also don't know about this Helm of the Iron Will. These are not items you really want to go for as Axe. So, not like... It's pretty expensive, 900. You could just buy Tranquil Boots for that price, pretty much. To your credit, you are making good use of these stout shields. You know, you've been tanking a bunch of creeps this whole time. The other reason Battle Hunger is pretty good to get level 1 is because, you know, this whole time you've just been full mana, and there's no way for you to use it because this is a passive. So, starting with Battle Hunger, putting it on people, that can let you, like, do more harass. But you wouldn't have been able to cut creep waves like you did, so, in that sense, I guess you do kind of need to start counter Helix. What you can do instead here, like you already know they're not going to contest you, so go ahead and pull these creeps. Pull them into a hard camp, or any jungle camp really. Medium camp, small camp. Since you only have level 1 Helix, a small camp might be better. And then that way you're farming both the creeps and the jungle. And that's how Axe gets super ahead really quickly in good games for him. He just farms the jungle and the creeps at the same time. This Monkey King loves taking arrows to the face. This is so bad. The upheaval. It's so useless in lane, really. That's Mirana's landing arrows, to her credit. Okay, sorry, I should be on player perspective watching you. Zoom forward a bit. Right now you've had a really good start. 9 range creeps, that's good. Checking other lanes, that's good. I really don't like this. I just really feel this is inefficient use of 900 gold. For your like great start, I feel like what would be a better expenditure? You went double stout shield, so getting a really fast Vanguard could be good. So Ring of Health gives you 6 regen, more than this one. This one does give you 5 armor, but consider the fact you have 2 stout shields, which already does a lot for you in tanking right clicks. The armor is nice, but because this is an expensive item, because it like doesn't really build into anything you want, I don't think this is great. Getting even phase boots fast could be good. It doesn't give you any regen, but it gives you the same amount of armor and gives you a lot of move speed, a bit more damage, and then you could just battle hunger warlock, phase boots towards him. You know, you'd already be running pretty fast, and I think that would be a lot better. You know, get like boots and chainmail, or maybe like the boots and blade of attack from courier at some point, and then you can pick up chainmail in the side shop. Something like that I think would be a lot better than Helm of Iron Will. Maybe a ward for yourself, put it here so that you can pull waves safely. See, you're like taking so little damage, which feels good, but at the same time it's like what's the point of being this invincible to creeps, I guess. If you just had a bit of regen, it'd be fine that they damage you a bit because you would just heal it up more. So like a health of, what's this, Ring of Health? I always mix up like these two, Ring of Regen, Ring of Health. A Ring of Health would just, I think, be a lot better, and it would build into something you actually need, being a Vanguard. And in fact, if we talk about items you want during this pause, you're the initiator this game, taking a look at it, so I think you want to blink pretty quickly. Still unclear if you're the position 3 or 4. If you're the position 3, I think it's okay to go for like Vanguard phase boots kind of stuff first. But if you're the position 4, you want to be more of a playmaker for your team, I think. Not spend so much time like just in the lane, because an offlane axe can spend the time just pulling creep waves, farming the jungle, that kind of thing. But a position 4 axe can't farm as much and needs to be like doing things, and a blink enables you to do that. I like Earn this game. I don't think you should be the guy to get it. Definitely, I don't think you should get a Veil. This is like, I mean, you're getting it, I guess, because you get the Helm of the Iron Will, but Skywrath pumps out magic damage, that's true. Lion has his ult, like, really ignore the damage from his Q and that. But you don't have to play around his ult like that. For the Skywrath, maybe. Mirana does a decent amount of magic damage too, but you're not the guy to buy it. Mirana or like Skywrath can be the ones to buy a Veil. It's not your job, essentially. Your job is to be tanky, be an initiator, make life difficult for their carries. And what does a Veil do for that? It gives you some regen and armor, but how does it, you know, complicate Ursa, Monkey King? It doesn't disarm them like a halberd. It doesn't, you know, give you more mobility like a force staff. So it's not a very useful item. So someone should be getting runes, whether it's you or the Mirana. If you're gonna cut waves like this, then Mirana needs to do it. Did I miss that? Did that happen while I was talking? Oh, she did get one. Okay. You were able to just like right click him down. That'd be a lot easier with like phase boots instead of Helm of the Iron Will. You'd be doing more damage. It doesn't matter that you would have like a little less regen in that sense, you know? I think you can go for that. You're gonna get it anyways, but I don't think you need to back away. I think you manned up here level 1 with like no health, and then like here, now that you've got items and stuff, you like run away a bit. This is where like Tranquils could be nicer too than like this. Give you more downtime to like fully regen your health. If you're a support axe, I think Tranquils are really good because it lets you roam and always be at full health. Face boots don't really let you do that. Face boots are more of a off lane axe kind of thing. Tranquils lets you run around. A little scary getting this low, especially since Monkey King can be like in trees, that kind of stuff. But he was in lane, so I guess it's alright. Like regenning really slowly too, with just Helm of the Iron Will. That's where like Ring of Health would be better. I really don't like this, man. You're playing really well this game so far, you know? And it's like you're negating how well you're playing, dude. You're like legend. Like when I look at this, right? By chance, you're pretty high level this game compared to like everyone else. You're essentially the best player on your team, and your play is kind of like either your play or their bad play, one or the other, is kind of reflecting that. And you're throwing away that advantage by getting like an iron, a Veil of Discord. It's not making use of like how well you've been doing. You know, I don't want to say like I don't like to encourage like solo play, but to a certain extent, you do need to know when you are the highest level in the game, not just like this level. I mean, like, you know, you're Legend 7 compared to like everyone else. When you're the best player in the game and you're having a great start, you kind of need to itemize for that and to play with that. So I really think like a blink would be much better. If you rushed a blink, I would be more happy with that. But I would really want you to get like a casual boots at least. So like instead of this Helm of Iron Will, I would have been okay with you to get a Ring of Regen, the 851, and then buy like your boots, and then finish up a Vanguard. I think that would be a lot better use of your gold. And like compare what Vanguard does for Veil of Discord. Remember I said you know, your job is axe to make the carry's life hard. You know, this makes you really tanky, extra health, extra regen, 50% chance to block 70 damage. You know, that's a lot. If we take a look at Monkey King, he has 70 damage, you know? Your armor negates these, like, other 10. Yeah, if he gets his passive, then he'll have more damage, right? But instead of having, like, a bonus 90 damage, you know, he would only be doing 90 damage every time you block it, because he only has this much. Same with, like, Ursa, if we take a look. He's at 70 damage. Yes, his passive stacks. And that's kind of why Monkey King and Ursa are some of the better heroes against Axe. But, like, at least their base attacks, you would be pretty much ignoring every time it procs. All of these guys, like, he doesn't even have 70 damage, you know? Vanguard makes you so strong. Especially to pull, like, the creeps. Can I click them? Yeah, see, like, look how little they have. Every time you proc your Vanguard, and then if that doesn't proc your Stout Shield, you are way more invincible, I guess, than what the armor gives you from Veil. And again, I'm still unclear if you were like offlaner or support, but for how well you're doing, really try to ingrain it into your play. Whenever you're feeling free and the lane isn't that hard and you're ahead, pull creeps, drag them into you know, these jungle camps. Imagine every time you cut a wave, you got an extra 100 gold. That's essentially what you get from pulling them into these waves. Extra 100 gold, extra however much experience, depending what camp you're doing. But, you know, if you had been doing that, instead of being level 5, I think you'd be like 7, maybe 8. And you'd have these boots finished. Ideally, it would be a Vanguard instead of this Veil. But, like, you would still just have that much more money. And, like, if we look at net worth, you're ahead. You're the #1 net worth. Ursa's close behind. But you could be further up, like another 500, 600, just by pulling it into these camps and doing it like that. So you're playing well, but you can, you're not like maximizing your advantage that you have. And see, if you had gotten a Vanguard or like Tranquils, you wouldn't need to buy more Tangos for regen. You would have more than enough. Like, you would get that kill even without a Veil. I don't mean to like flame it too hard. I think like I'm sure you understand the point already, but I just want to kind of like point out when different items would have, like, what their benefit would have been in the game if you did them instead.
Dominating, I guess.
Right now, since you're so strong, I'm kind of split between you staying up here and pushing that advantage, and also like rotating bottom and helping out your teammates. You don't have any point in call, which I would recommend at least 1 point in at this point. Um, for the amount of time you've spent cutting waves, I think level 2 Battle Hunger, if you want to do that, you're a support axe. Level 2 Battle Hunger, I'm okay with that. But after that, I don't think you need more than that. And then either at least 1 point in call, and then a couple points in Helix. The point in call lets you like cancel teleports, channeled spells, like cancel a shackle, cancel a TP. Don't worry about canceling upheaval really, but sure if it comes up. Makes people focus you. It gives you like a pseudo save and like an actual initiate. Level 3 Battle Hunger. Like, you don't even have your phase boots, you know? You're not making use of it. You veil them, which does 25% more magic damage, which is, instead of 32, you're doing like 40 maybe, you know? Like, the value isn't like really there. This is your one like magic damage spell that can be removed if they auto attack. Like right here, cutting the wave, pulling it into the jungle camp would be a little safer for you and a bit more efficient. Because now, look, you're running away from them, and you're doing it fine because he's slowed and you've got Battle Hunger. But you give yourself like, you just standing here hitting the creeps. You then had to like run all the way. Whereas if you had pulled them to like a camp, then it's like a shorter way for you to run away. Also, the time you're like just killing jungle creeps, this is the time to bring out a clarity and just pop the clarity. You wouldn't need to shrine. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the minimap. I don't know if you like dropped your veil to shrine, but you should definitely do that. This is also something you can buy at the side shop. So if you're not going to call this immediately, then I would just continue waiting on it, see if you're going to stop by the side shop or not. Let's take stock of the game real quick. It's about 10 minutes in. Got Midas. So Ursa should be your #1 concern right now. 6-1. Midas phase. Really scary. Level 8. He's doing okay. Doesn't have his Midas yet, and it'll still be a while. So he's not as far along as he'd like to be. And he's kind of a late game concern anyway. So like right now, yes, you could shut him down more, but he's not like necessarily your #1 focus. You guys kind of like crushed this guy in the top lane, so he's pretty behind. And so you either take advantage of that. This is kind of weird. Take advantage of that like you have been, keep playing up here, getting kills and pushing this tower. Or see, the thing is you don't have items to like do anything to this Ursa. This veil doesn't do anything for you, and you don't have a blink to like get on him. You don't have like a blade mail to reflect all the damage and quickly kill him. So like there's not much you can do against this guy. I guess she is a support because she got wards. This is kind of a weird setup. I don't really like this as a support, but you know what? We're not here for her gameplay. Getting face boots. Okay, getting a clarity. That's good. I would be okay with you getting some dust too, or at least a sentry, since Invoker has invis, and like if you had a blink, then you would definitely need dust because you can go on him. Since you don't really have that, I guess you don't need the dust, but that's kind of what I would want to see from you if you got the blink. Urn is good this game, but I don't think you should be the one to buy it. Usually one of the supports is the one to buy it. Mirana's not a usual Urn carrier, but since she wanted to play 4, like that is an actual support item she could buy instead of like Tread's Wraithband or like whatever else she's gonna buy. We'll see what she buys actually, but I think you leave that to her. I think she would be a good, at least a decent earn carrier. Um, and like it's not. It does make the carries life harder. Ursa, MK, them, but there's just like better items for you. You know, I've already listed a bunch: Vanguard, Blade Mail, Blink, Pipe, and then turn that into like Crimson, or you know, like Force Staff. Like Axe has so many good items, and Earn isn't really like. I don't think Earn gives you more than like any of these items. So I would really want one of your teammates to buy the Earn instead of yourself. Now, if none of your team are going to do it, even though you've asked, then I guess, yeah, I'd be okay with you buying it. But, I don't know. Right now, like, if you had a Blink Blade Mail, you'd be terrifying. If you had a Blink Vanguard, you'd be slightly less terrifying in terms of kills, but it would let you pressure the lanes a little more by cutting waves and pulling. You know, like, these two items combine so much more to give you either, like, the lane domination or the like kill threat than like a Veil and an Earn. Like at this point, I'm convinced you're the offlane Axe, but I would be fooled into thinking you're a support Axe because you're getting Earn and a Veil, which I don't like the Veil. The Vlads would have been really good instead of Veil. Well, you're not the best Vlad's carrier, but like someone needs to buy it on your team, and Void is your hard carry, so he can't really do it. So Vlad's is pretty good for you to buy. You don't have to get it every game, I guess, but like I think it's better than a Veil for what Axe wants to do. Kind of like play around a team, that kind of thing. And like Veil is a good item for Skywrath to get. Skywrath is really squishy, has no armor. So it's like a really good item for him. I don't think you need to do it. And you just got chased away, so you're a little scared. So I understand you farming these camps. It would kind of be better to be like farming their camps as much as possible. And so you want your team to like give you a ward. Like you've been crushing it. Why don't you have a ward to like see their jungle so that you can keep pushing that advantage? You know? So feel free to ask your team or like buy it yourself. It's only 50 gold. Runes? 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 No? Get the runes. I'm sure you know that. Sometimes it's just hard to remember, but definitely want to. You use Veil here, and like, what does it really do? Amplifies your W just a little bit. Is Bash even like? Bash is magical, so I guess that's amplified a little, right? It just like doesn't do a lot for you. I really want you to have the blink because you're the initiator for the team. You know, you have to set up the arrows, the follow-up chronos, the stuns. If you call someone in Skywrath ult, that's like a guaranteed kill. Also, in terms of what casual items you can get to fill up slots, you can use Windlace. Like, you have an extra slot, so if you got a Windlace earlier during the laning phase, help you run around, avoid heroes, that kind of thing, and then it can build into a Spirit Vessel. Doesn't even need to build anything, honestly. It's a really good cheap item to get, in my opinion. But if you're set on getting Spirit Vessel, then I would try to buy the Windlace earlier, take advantage of it. And then guess what? When you need slots, it builds into something, so it like disappears, you know? Since I'm zooming forward, I'm not even sure if you did it, but I'm pretty sure you clicked the Invoker down there to aggro the creeps. And if you did that, good job. If you didn't, then that's a trick you can do, is if no one's in the lane you're in, you can click on a hero somewhere else and aggro the creeps. See, this is good. And you're able to do that because she had her ult. And you had to just run in. But imagine you can do that like every 12 seconds when you have a blink. 15 seconds. Still ingrained to like how it used to be. They nerfed it. But yeah, every time your blink is up, you'd be like a threat to kill. You and Mirana. You blink, call, arrow, every time. But instead, you have to like rely on her ult to just like run in. Right now, all your team is top, but you guys kind of want to get this bottom T1 tower. And for the amount of time you guys are playing in their jungle, you're kind of getting some wards now, but like this ward's kind of far back. It would be better to be like up here somewhere. And like de-warding this, because you've been running around here so much, it's safe to assume that they should have been warding it. So you want to get your team to either give you the wards and you can do it yourself, or tell them that you want vision around this area so that you can play up there. But actually at this point, I do think you should like tell your team to group up and get this down here. It's hard because of your items. I feel like I'm saying it a lot, but I do think that's like the biggest mistake right now. It's just the itemization. Like your ability to make plays is just reduced because like you don't have the items to make the plays and you're a playmaking hero. Okay, getting the towers though. This should be good. This is a pretty good start for you. You lose this game, so why might you lose this game? In part because of your itemization. And then Albert's actually kind of a support item. Look how farm she is though. Maelstrom on a support. She's a core. I'm defining it. She's a core now. You're a 4-core lineup. Maybe you're a support. I mean, you are essentially a support with your items. That's confusing. I don't know if you're what you were. I really like Axe as a offlaner more than a support. But this guy building an Atos, that's pretty unnecessary. Look at this. Like, who's the hard carry? Atos into Ags. This could be a Veil. One of these could be a Veil. And that would be easier itemization, good stats for him, that kind of thing. He's doing fine though right now. Like, you guys are winning, so how would you lose? Maybe you guys wipe on high ground. Maybe unable to make plays because of items. I don't know. We'll see. This guy's wasting his ult a lot. That's another reason Vanguard's pretty good. All those Serpent wards, you can get a Crimson too. Just you take a little less damage. Forge Spirits as well. All the Monkey King ult. So I really like Crimson this game. I think that would have been a fantastic item. Something like you want to get Face Boots. That's okay. Face Boots. So if we think about the start you had, rush the Vanguard instead of the Helm. So you get your Vanguard, you get brown boots into, we'll say Face Boots, that's okay. So then you'll have Face Boots Vanguard. Could get a casual Windlace if you want, not necessary. I would go for a Blink after that. Then finish a Crimson Guard or a Blade Mail. And then whichever one you get the other one. And with those items, like with the lead your team has, I think you would have all the items you need to win the game. Because, like, look at you guys. You're at their T3s to an extent. You're got all the towers, the T1 towers. You guys can get the T2 towers pretty quickly. And then you could chip away the high ground by Crimson guarding when your creep wave is up there. Let Mirana, like, poke at it because she's a core. You know, and then when they try to stop you, you blink initiate, void, chronos. You'd be able to win like right there. But with these items, you can't do that. I'm not saying anything yet because I'm just kind of like waiting to see what's happening. Chivas is a pretty good item for X. I kind of would have liked Blade Mail. Or I'm sorry, not Blade Mail. Well, yes, Blade Mail. But if you had bought the items I mentioned first, thinking about the next item, Shivas would be alright. I also think BKB would have been really good. It pretty much makes Invoker, like, what does he do to you? All his spells are, you know, magical pretty much. Shadow Shaman can't crowd control you. This guy can't stun you. That would have been a really nice item. This is good too, though. Gives you better mana pool. Gives you armor against these guys. Attack slow, that kind of thing. Oh no, where did it die? Kind of weird. You guys are just running around your own jungle. Look how far ahead you are. Why are you guys like in your own corner? Smoke up. That's the thing. You're the playmaker. You have to sometimes call those kind of things. Like, come on, guys, let's go smoke. Let's go play Dota. We're so in the lead. Okay, now you're pushing the lane. Team's kind of following up. A 4-staff is also nice this game because it lets you break the trees of Monkey King. I want to, I was just kind of playing that fast. Let's go back and do that fight a little slower. I think I've gone a lot into items, so let's do a team fight analysis here. You guys go invis. Let's take a look at your items real quick. Take a look at everyone's items. This guy's pretty scary. He's like, he just finished his BKB. He's even got a basher. This is the scariest guy. And if he BKBs, even if you call him, your team can't kill him because you're really reliant on magic damage right now. That's kind of one reason why you wanted to like push your advantage more with better itemization to like get more out of the map before he could get to BKB. This guy just has Ags, which is decent, but not the biggest threat in the world. He's starting to be a little scary with Deso on the way. Warlock, Fatal Bonds is always scary. This is okay. Halberd, excellent. Good support item. Very redeeming for the support Mirana here. Orcor, I don't know. It's so weird. Lost. I don't really like Atos, but sure. I don't like this either. What? Okay. Your blink's on cooldown though, so you guys are like running in, and you're like literally gonna just have to run in. Works out for you though. You get 1 kill. Call the Ursa, double Skywrath ult. Ursa just kind of kills you though. Cause, okay, I'm gonna keep playing because otherwise his ult is just gonna make a bunch of noise. At this point, you don't have much to do because you're dead. This guy should leave once he gets the kill. He's definitely should just leave. Gonna get a kill. She's the core. The highest core on your team. Really pushing it. It is just 2 supports. Is she gonna die here because of this? Oh, if he did that a little faster, more of these could hit her. He might actually have been able to get a kill. Warlock too if he stuck around once she's in there. Ursa just like killed you that fight, right? And it's because you can't do anything. You can't blade mail. You know, your Vanguard's not making it harder to kill you because you don't have those. I wasn't watching if you Spirit Vesseled anyone. If you either Spirit Vessel or Battle Hunger the Monkey King, if you didn't stays around and dies really unnecessarily, that could be part of what leads you guys to losing. We'll see. So sell one of your stouts. Nice. Alright, that's good. Yeah. Waiting for someone to come in. It's kind of hard for you to wait in the trees this game because of Monkey King. Monkey King's more likely to see you than you are to see him. And you also can't solo kill anyone this game. Your items don't allow you to do that. With a Blade Mail, maybe. But even with a Blade Mail, I would still recommend trying to get like, what's happened to my game? Did it just crash? I really hope not. I think it did though. What was I just saying? Oh yeah, because you're solo, you want to, or because of your items, and even if you did have like better items, you would still kind of want at least one more hero with you. So waiting in the trees for someone is like the right idea, but in this game against Monkey King, it's not the best, and it's also like you need a teammate. So you're waiting in the trees, but you're not going to be able to get a kill. So in that sense, waiting in the trees is not the right move. Okay, the game unfroze. We'll just imagine that I had paused to talk. Nice. Am I on his perspective? What's happening? Why is this happening? Ugh, this is an issue. While I'm waiting for this to go though, we'll summarize. Because I can kind of imagine why you guys might lose this game already. Even though you're still pretty in the lead. But like once they get BKBs, Skyrath really struggles to do anything. And if Skyrath dies in that time, so like if they pop BKBs, essentially Skyrath doesn't do anything. And if they kill him in that time, then you're down to like an actual 4v5. Chrono is pretty good to counter BKBs. Axe Call, also good to counter BKBs, but only if only if you can call and survive, you know, call and reflect damage. Right now you call and die. So your itemization is a big part of why I feel you might lose this game, because I just like you're playing pretty well. And your items are just not like reflecting your net worth at all. Like, where are you? You've fallen down to 4th. Not surprised, because she has a, you know, she's the 4th core. But I don't feel like you're doing, like, I kind of just ignore these two items, because they really don't add much to what Axe does. So really it feels like you're, like, down here in terms of net worth, despite how well you've been playing. So I just feel like your itemization was a large part of... You want to call first so that he can't BKB at all. Works out in the end, and you get a BKB charge out of it, I guess. But yeah, try to BKB out of Invis as quickly as you can so that Skyrath can do his stuff. We don't have the creep wave. You'll be waiting here a while. I think you might be able to look for one of those. A little late now. Actually, I wouldn't, because the rest of your team isn't there. So now you have like part of you guys pushing and getting wiped for that, while the rest of your guys were like going for a pickoff. When you're in the lead like this, you kind of need to get everyone together and not give them a chance to come back by doing things like what you just did, like giving up 2 kills. Even though, honestly, even though you're both supports, I think you're the offlane, but you're a support. Because you're so in the lead, like those kills were really valuable for them. Now they're getting Roshan. You guys struggle to do Roshan, but definitely shouldn't be like giving it up too easily. This fight's so chaotic. I know you're running away, but you kind of need to like look up a little more when the fight's going. Like click down to run away, and then look up, and then go back down. You know, if you're Axe and you're running this way, you know, click to go down, and then look up, and then like move down further and like try to check up again. That's just something to try to like get in the habit of to like gather more information. But like this fight is like very much on their terms. They just took Aegis. This is a scary time to take a fight unless you're like very coordinated and you take a pick off. Oh, okay, you cancel it at least. That's good. If you had a BKB, you wouldn't be in this situation. He wouldn't be able to shackle you, and you could, you know, fight this a bit and run out. That's another reason Veil of Discord isn't great, because once they BKB, you know, your item's useless. Oh no, don't go in like that. That's not your fault, but good call. Who got disarmed there? Did I just not see that? Oh, okay. Because I saw the bar here and I was like, did she disarm the Shadow Shaman? I was so confused. So at this rate, I think you just weren't able to push your advantage because of your items. And then, unrelated to your items, you guys made a bad call to, like 3 of you just waited up here for so long, even though you didn't have a creep wave. And 2 of you died here while you had another 2 going for a pick off top. And then that snowballed into them getting Roshan. You guys taking another bad fight. Maybe feeling like you were ahead, but not so ahead that you can just like disrespect their like their strengths. Ursa has been doing well, and Warlock, no matter how badly Warlock is doing, you have to be scared of him. Fatal Bonds is just so strong. Like, you could have a halberd too. That's another good item for you to get. You know, but she has it. Should have swapped. You should have the halberd and she should have the urn. And now you guys are just like taking these like really bad fights, getting picked off one at a time. I think that'll probably keep going until you lose. You bought back, so you're dead for a really long time. And even if you respawn, you're not going to be able to defend by buying back. You do have a pretty big wave bottom, so that is your saving grace. Except for the fact that he just got killed. The call you should make for your team right now is give up this Rax, because your creeps are going to get... We take a look at them. Catapults, all these creep waves. You'll probably get this tower. Hopefully one of these. If you at least get the tower, even if you lose these 2 sets of racks, hopefully just 1, maybe 2, you'll both be able to, like, they'll get shrines, but you can also get shrines later, because your creeps take this T3. Hopefully a little more. This is a decent sized creep wave, maybe. There's no way you can defend this with just the people that were up, so you have to tell your team, like, just live. Throw spells from afar if you have to, but you can't die. And dying there is kind of game losing. It's gonna put you in a really bad position, having to trade away these like racks. And it looks like they're just going for the win. They realize you don't have buyback. Just the right call on their part. Blink got canceled from that golem. That's where Force Staff or a Shadow Blade can be useful. Shadow Blade not this game because you have a Mirana. So Force Staff, like, just run in, force yourself forward, call. Those are the kind of items that Axe can make use of. Much more than these. Yeah, so, you played pretty well in the early laning phase, honestly. Better than I think it should have gone. Like, you, like, manned up on that Warlock and that full creep wave with, like, 200 health, and I was like, are you not just gonna die right here? Out of Tate. Ooh, exciting. I wonder if something happened. But, let's take a look at the graph, right? You were top net worth, dude. You were playing well. You dropped off around here, but like this start was really good. And usually a lot of the times I try to like help people, I focus on the early game a lot because, you know, if you do well in the early game, it makes everything else easier. And in this case, you did do really well in the early game, but your itemization really set you back. Just because essentially, like, I feel like all this net worth you got was not put to use. It's kind of like there's a reason you buy certain items at certain times, and it's because you can make use of them and they like do something for you, do something for the hero. And so some items are essentially not worth as much gold on other heroes as they might be for a different one. So in this case, Veil of Discord and the Spirit Vessel. Spirit Vessel is like okay, if no one else is gonna buy it, I don't mind that one so much. Veil of Discord though, definitely not very good. I would say let's pretend you need a Spirit Vessel in this case, okay? Your itemization could have gone like after the double stout, you get the Vanguard, buy a pair of brown boots, then either buy an urn or a phase boots, then buy the other one, or tranquils if you're a support. I think phase boots is okay though. And then buy a casual windlace to fill up the slots if you needed to. Okay, let's go into I'm like trying to do this in my head and it's like hard to imagine. I'm gonna pop into demo mode real quick. We're gonna discuss what you could have bought instead, and then that'll be the end of the video. Because your team did make some late game mistakes, even though you could have won. You guys like fiddled around on your half of the map when you were like 10k ahead, weren't taking their towers, weren't just grouping up and solidifying your lead to finish it out. And then you guys were like in the like T3 alone with only part of you guys and not even a creep wave. And then you like repeatedly took poor fights, which led to you losing. So it wasn't just your fault. I want to say that. But let's talk about what items. So you started 2 stouts and a tango. 2 tangos, actually. It was okay. After that, you bought Helm of the Iron Will. Boo. Don't get that. I don't like it. Bad. Get the Ring of Health. Much better. Gives you a lot of regen, and you already have like stout, 2 stout shields, so it's the armor isn't as necessary for you right now, and you already have 2 armor, which isn't that much. But like the first couple armor is the most significant to get. You know, with just 2 armor, you're at 11%, and Helm of the Iron Will puts you to 30%, which is kind of a lot. Although actually, you would have let's see. You're like level 3 or 4 or something, right? So you were at 16%, let's say. Up to 33%. 15% increase, essentially. And so let's say someone did 100 damage to you. Reduce 15 damage. And how many times are they going to hit you, though? Like, let's say they hit you 3 times and then you run away. So you reduced 45 damage. And then you go farm a jungle or something. But the increased HP regen is like per second, right? So, you know, to regen 45 health, this gives you 2.5 more HP regen. You know, in like 30 seconds, you've made up for the fact that you had more armor, or had less armor. I don't know if that was very clear what I was just trying to say, but the point is, this is a lot better. So we don't like that. We get the Vanguard instead. Then we get let's say brown boots, maybe a casual windlace so you can keep running around. If you want to get an urn, I would get it now. Where is it? Urn gives you some armor. Good stuff. Then at this point, I would say a blink. Or finish your... I might just finish the tranquil boots if I bought a casual windlace. Just because it just like clears up slots, it's cheaper. But if instead you wanted to finish up phase boots, I'd be okay with that. After phase vanguard, I would buy a blink. And then now that you actually have kill potential, I think now getting an urn could be good. Carry dust for that invoker. I'm just putting them where I would have them. After this, instead of getting a soul vessel, for two reasons. One, I think a crimson is better. It's not that much money to finish out a crimson once you have a vanguard, and it gives you a lot more armor, and the active is very strong. 100% chance to block 60 damage. That's really good. Considering, like I said, the Shaman ult, Monkey King ult, the rapid attack speed from Ursa, Forge Spirits. There's just a lot of things to block. So Crimson Guard is really good. Lets you push your advantage. Helps out your entire team. So Crimson Guard first. The other reason you don't want to get a Soul Vessel right away, usually, is that Urn picks up 2 charges. Soul Vessel picks up 1 charge. So in the early game, what you want Urn for is to put it on that Monkey King so that he can't leap, and then maybe use it to heal a bit. So you really just need an Urn to stop him from blinking. You have a lot of regen on your own. Maybe you can heal teammates, but it's for the preventing Monkey King from leaping around. And then once you have a chance to build up some charges from getting like these blink pickoffs, then you can go ahead. Page. Then you can go ahead, finish a Spirit Vessel if you wanted to. Then from here, I would get a BKB. Shiva's is kind of okay here, but I think a BKB is better. You know, replace the stat with the BKB. If you didn't get a Spirit Vessel after this Crimson Guard, after you get a Vanguard, finish it into a Crimson, and then yeah, I would still go into... Actually, no, I would get a Blade Mail. After Vanguard, I would get Blade Mail and then get a Crimson. Crimson into Blade Mail, also fine. It's not a huge deal either way. But I think once you get a Blink, you really like the Blade Mail to combo with you, and that would have let you just about solo kill Axe and Ursa and Monkey King, I think. Just returning the amount of damage they do. And then especially if you have a teammate up to back you up, you want to buy smokes too. The offlaner, it's fine to buy smokes, you know. I know people might think of it as a support item, but if you're the playmaker, just go ahead and buy it. Don't reduce your own ability to do stuff because you want someone else to enable you. You know, if they're not going to do it, then just enable yourself. Buy the smoke, get a teammate to go with you, you know. Blink, Axe Call, Blade Mail, Crimson, they're going to do very little damage to you. You're going to reflect a lot. The Mirana is going to follow up Arrow. The Skywrath will alter your call. Kind of just let Void farm, actually. He doesn't really need to be the one to go with you. And Axe Call plus Chrono is kind of hard to combine. So this would have been enough to win the game with the lead you had, I think. You don't even necessarily need the Blade Mail. I think this would have won the game. This would have helped pickoffs to win the game. Then BKB. Where is it? BKB after this. Chivas if you want. Maybe a Halberd. And then that would have been like everything you need, I think. That would have been enough to win out the game. And then, what am I clicking? Watch. Last thing I want to look at, skill builds. See, this is the thing with support Mirana. Said I wasn't going to do it, but here I am. Look at this. Equal. So like if you're, I think in your post you were saying like Core's not taking enough farm. I don't know how that might be the case in other games, right? But see how like Ursa's the guy who's like pretty in the lead because he's been doing well. Imagine if either Skywrath or Void had a bit more gold to finish like one extra item instead of like having it so split between like all of them. They look more even because they won and like got buildings, right? So this is why I really don't like support Maranas. I feel like they just take up so much farm. It works for some people, but I don't love it. But anyways, your skill build. If you want the second point in Battle Hunger, sure. I don't think it's needed, but if you want to do it, I'm also okay with it. But I think this should be a point and call, and then your ult. That's fine. And then this can be Helix. That would max out Helix, then max out call, and then get your Battle Hunger after that. I just think I just don't think level 3 and 4 in Battle Hunger does that much for you, especially for how you were playing, which was like constantly cutting waves, running at people. I think in those cases, Helix is, especially if you're cutting waves, Helix is a bit better to reduce the cooldown on it and to increase the damage, pull the creep waves into the jungle, and you would get like a lot more value out of it than like a third, fourth point in Battle Hunger. So yeah, we won't worry about your teammates too much now because you can't control them. What you can do is try to improve your itemization. Really, like you play him a lot, so I'm kind of surprised to see you building those items. I don't know if you were like trying out something new, but like if you want to play him that much and you really like him, I think that's cool. I think Axe is a cool hero, but really like look up some guides, or like what I detailed is a build that will work for a lot of games. But look into some like pro replays, into guides to figure out like a more standard build than like what you went for. This was like a very weird itemization, and I think if I recall on your Dota buff, some of the other Axe games, I think I also remember seeing Spirit Vessel in some of these. I think it's just kind of like weird. Oops, sorry, phone alarm. That means I have to go. So this video is about to end. So yeah, I just think proving your itemization wouldn't necessarily win you the game, but it would help a lot. I think you played pretty well, and you were the best player on your team. So itemization would help like show that. And then pull the creep waves into the jungle. That would also help your early game. And then everything else after that could be a lot easier if you were just more ahead, or had better items for it. So yeah, hope that helped. And with that alarm and without all that, I will go now. Good luck.